Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to a new video. So I'm going to be washing the STI tonight. Ever since I got home from Wicked Big Meat, I never got a chance to actually clean it. It's still filthy. It looks decently clean on camera, but if you come up close, you can see just how filthy it is. There's still pollen everywhere and it's driving me nuts. So it's been in the garage ever since. I literally came home from Wicked Big Meat, parked it, and haven't driven it since because I didn't want to take the car out with it being so dirty. Again, very, very hard to see on camera, but it's definitely really filthy. The cool thing is, I was actually looking at the wheels since I did ceramic coat these with Sea Quartz Deluxe. Usually these are filled with brake dust, and I just drove 4 hours or so, and they're really not that dirty, which is pretty crazy. I mean, they definitely will clean up. You think it would have a lot more brake dust on there, but it really is not that bad. But either way, I really am looking forward to cleaning this thing up. You can see all the pollen on the roof the best. We're gonna do a little bit of a wash and talk. It has been a while since we've done one of these, and I'm looking forward to doing it. Got some things on my mind, so I figured why not do a wash and do a good old-fashioned wash and chat. So let's go ahead, let's get started. We're gonna start on the wheels as normal, kind of work our way around and have a little chat. Oh yeah, before we get going, I figured I'd mention this. I didn't make a video on it. I was going to, but it was such a simple install that I ended up not making a video. If you guys can tell, it's a very minor modification, but if you look on the lower trim level, I'll go up close so you guys can see it in a sec. But I replaced that with a Putco, I believe the brand is called, lower trim. It's made of stainless steel. It's really nice. It opens everything up. I hated the stock one because that's where the license plate bracket went. It just looked ugly and everything, and this is just a much nicer piece. I actually went around and also coated all of the rusty parts on the suspension, the rear diff and everything, all in the back, kind of the rear frame and everything. It looks really nice. So here is the new lower grille. It looks really nice. I'm really happy with it. It's made of stainless, so it's a nice material. It's not cheap or anything. Obviously painted black. Behind there, I actually ended up painting everything a matte black since there was some chrome underneath there or behind there, and it looked terrible. So I took it back off and I ended up painting everything. So all the tabs and all that, even the screws, you can't even see them. I painted them a matte black, so it looks way better, way cleaner, and I think it looks really good with the truck. So if you take a step back, I think it looks really good. I'm really happy with it. So we also, like I mentioned, painted all the suspension components or used some coating. All right, so let me give you some light so you can see, but you can see the control arm up there on top was all painted a nice kind of matte black. And also in the back there, you can see, it looks really good. I'm really happy with it. So the really noticeable part is actually in the back rear frame right there. This whole part right here is all painted a nice matte black. It used to be all gross and rusty and everything. It turned out pretty nice. I also painted the tow hitch in the back as well. That was all gross and rusty, so looks way better. I'm really happy with that. All right, so this is my actually second time washing these wheels. First one I did was right before Wicked Big Meat. I really didn't get to talk about it as I was cleaning them since I was kind of in a rush, but super easy to clean, especially with the ceramic coating. It's ridiculous. Brake dust hardly sticks on here, and they just clean up really well. If you haven't ceramic coated anything on a car, I would definitely recommend at least doing the wheels. So I really haven't been driving the car much after Wicked Big Meat. I just went to the meet and I've just been driving the truck ever since. Not because I didn't want to drive it, I just haven't had the time. But I definitely want to make some time to go out for a really decent drive and just, not have any destination and just go out for, a spirited, fun drive. I haven't done that in a long time. Being a dad and everything and working full time, it's pretty hard to, find time to do that. So I definitely would like to do that very soon. But yeah, the car drove amazing for 7 hours. So on the drive to Wicked Big Meat, it was 3.5 hours each way. So 7 hours, no hiccups, drove awesome. I drove it pretty darn hard on certain parts. Otherwise it was, cruising at 85, 90 the whole entire time. No hiccups, nothing. It just didn't even miss a beat. So I was, the whole time I was just smiling ear to ear. I was able to go to the meet, have fun, drive back home safely, no issues. And I got, I think 24 miles a gallon, 24 point something, which is pretty darn good for an old EJ, especially with bigger injectors and upgraded fuel system and all that stuff. I was pretty surprised. Now, I don't know how accurate that is, but I mean, I'll take it. 24 miles a gallon on a old EJ, not bad. So my truck gets like 12 to 13 miles a gallon, but I do drive that truck a little harder than, I guess, the STI, and just kind of flooring it around town and everything, especially with the new exhaust. I haven't stopped driving it, you know, wide open throttle all the time. But on the way to the meet, I really got to test these tires out. There were some pretty awesome back roads on the way there, up in Connecticut. Some beautiful, like, scenic roads with twisties and everything. It was a lot of fun. And I was really pushing the car. Tires were insane. I felt like I was gonna fly out of the seat before the car left the road. That whole drive honestly just made me love this car even more. You know, just, I never really got to spend that much time in this car, in a long time at least. So being able to spend, you know, 7 hours just sitting by myself in the car driving it made me appreciate it so much. So anytime that I do wash my cars in the garage, people always ask me if I have a drain in here. That's kind of the most common question I get any car wash related video I do. And no, I don't have a drain in here, but my slab, the garage slab, is actually properly pitched towards the driveway. And underneath the Swiss tracks, there's actually a little water channels. So all the water just kind of runs out. I'll show you in a little bit, you know, all of it running out to the driveway, but I haven't had any issues. I've been washing cars in garages for 7 years now in this garage, and no issues. Dries right up. If it's warm out, like in the summertime, and I wash it during the day, the garage floor is dry by nighttime. During the winter, when it's a little bit colder, the floor is dry usually by the next morning. So, you know, if you just came in from a snowstorm or a rainstorm or something and the car was wet and it was dripping down, the floor doesn't get any more wet than it would in that circumstance. So slab is totally fine. I haven't had any problems at all. So if you have a properly pitched garage slab and you don't have a drain, you certainly can wash your car in the garage. It's great, especially during the daytime in the sun. You don't have to worry about getting the soap and water off the car as soon as possible and rushing through the whole entire wash. You're out of the sun physically, so you're not sweating and getting uncomfortable and cranky. And also in the garage, there's amazing lighting, so it allows me to take my time, be comfortable. I got my TV and everything in here and the fan, so being comfortable is really important. It makes the whole entire process that much more enjoyable. So I encourage you, if you guys do have a garage, set it up, try it out, see what you think. And also, a lot of people always ask if the walls get wet. No, they don't, because if you properly aim the pressure washer or the gun, usually you just shoot towards the opening of the garage as opposed to, you know, right at the car or towards the walls. You kind of just learn how to maneuver the pressure washer gun so it doesn't get on the walls, and I've never had any issues. So one thing I noticed about these wheels with this Easy Detail brush, on all my other wheels, I had no problems with the brakes, but there's not much clearance with the Rotora BBK. So I can't even get this brush in between the barrel and the caliper on the top part and the lower part, simply because the caliper is that big. So I kind of just work it around a little bit, and I'm able to get the bristles in there so it gets, you know, decently clean. But that's definitely something I noticed from these wheels. Comparing to any other set that I had no problems with brake clearance. Not that these don't clear, but there's much more clearance on the other wheels. Like the Weds, no problem. They had so much space everywhere. So here we go. You can see the water is running out into the driveway. It comes right underneath the little treadwear, runs through the channels and out to the driveway. So there you go. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and rinse the car down, then we can do the fun part, which is the foaming. But let's rinse it down, get all the pollen off, and get started on the wash. So a lot of people always ask me what line or how much soap do you put in this foam cannon, which is the MTM PF22, the best one. Definitely if you want to get a foam cannon, this is the one to get. But I use Kachemi GSF. And if you can see, there's little lines on the side here. That's the first one. I fill it up to the second line. I don't even know what milliliters or what that's at, but it is the second line on the bottle. So we're gonna go ahead, fill it up. Obviously I can't keep this on a level surface, but it is right about at the second line right there. So that is how much soap that I always put in this bottle anytime I do a wash. All right, now comes the fun part. We're gonna go ahead and foam the car down. So there you go, that is the consistency that you get when you fill it up to that second line. So it's definitely very, very thick. It's been running for a few minutes now. But what I normally do is I spray it down. I'll let it sit for 5 to 10 minutes to let the soap actually do its job, which is actually to loosen all the contaminants and dirt and everything on the paint. Kind of let it run off. You can see how much is running off right here and kind of around the bottom edge of the car. So usually after about 5 to 10 minutes, that is when I actually start the wash. So I don't rinse it off. I leave the soap on just to keep some extra slickness to the actual wash, because if you rinse it off, it kind of defeats the whole purpose. So letting it run off, as you can see, the soap just dripping down onto the ground here, and that's kind of what you want. So I'm gonna wait 5-10 minutes and then we can get to actually washing. All right, so it's been about 10 minutes or so. You see the soap's actually dripping off. That is mainly due to the ceramic coating. It has a tough time sticking to the paint. So you can see it just runs off, and that's kind of what you're looking for right before you start washing. So let's get the mitt, let's start washing, and let's have a talk. So ever since I went to Wicked Big Meat, saw a lot of cars and everything, and you know, just seeing everybody else's builds, I'm not gonna lie, that IAG 2022 WRX, I honestly can't stop thinking about it. I really thought it looked fantastic, much better than I anticipated. I've been watching the videos, you know, keeping up on everything that they've been doing, and it looks really freaking good. With, you know, obviously everything painted, it lowered on some nice wheels. It looks really good. I can do without the wing. I mean, it doesn't look that bad, but there might be some better options out there in terms of the wing. But man, I honestly have a hard time not thinking about it because it looked that good. And in saying that, I definitely started thinking a little bit. No, I wouldn't sell the STI for a 2022 WRX, but I did start thinking about selling the truck for the WRX. Now, is that gonna happen? I have no idea, but it definitely started getting my gears going, thinking, well, that'd be cool, you know, sell the truck, get a 2022 WRX, build that, make that my daily driver, keep the STI as a fun car, and kind of have the best of both worlds. So I don't know if that's gonna happen. I don't know if it's possible, or I don't know. It was just a thought, but it definitely, I don't know. I really want to build another car, and granted, the WRX is similar in a way, but it, you know, it's a totally different platform, so it would be different, obviously. But I think that would be really cool, having kind of two Subarus, I guess, you know, two different iterations of their sports cars, the STI, which obviously is no more, and the new WRX. But I don't know, what do you guys think? I definitely would like to build another car, and by build I mean just, you know, get a fun car and modify it to my liking, very similar to this. Just wheels, exhaust, suspension, you know, the basic stuff, making a really fun daily driver. Kind of the same mindset, obviously, as I had with this. Kind of in the beginning, where I was so focused on it being a perfect daily driver. Not that I don't think this is a good daily driver now, but, you know, super simple. Just focus on modifications that would just enhance the overall drivability of it. I don't know. What do you guys think? I mean, that's tough to say because I really do love the truck, and it honestly fits my needs very, very well. So I don't know if it would just kind of be a dumb move to get a very, very similar car as this one. But I don't know. I'm back and forth. I've been thinking about it. I've been trying to find one, at least test drive to see if it's anything, you know, worth pursuing. You know, selling the truck for something, I don't want to say less practical, but I mean, the truck is just so practical. I can fit literally my entire family. I can fit 3 kids across in the back. Obviously, it has the bed to haul stuff, which I've used several times. And the WRX is obviously very similar size to this, and I would only be able to fit 2 kids at a time. I don't know if it would be practical or as practical as a truck. I mean, I'm looking at the truck right now. It just looks amazing. It looks badass. So I don't know. Just a thought going through my mind, and I kind of wanted to get your guys' opinion on it and what you guys think, because I think that would be pretty cool. I've also thought about getting a few other different cars. I mean, nothing crazy, but I don't know. I'm thinking like another E46 M3 or something, and I don't know. I just really want to build another car. But at the same time, I don't want to get rid of the STI, so I feel like the truck would be the first to go, or the most logical thing to let go to kind of get something else. But I'm not sure if I'm ready to do that. I've had the truck for, I don't know, 7 months now, so it's fairly new, and I've already kind of finished it, but I love the way it's sitting right now. There's really nothing else that I really want to do to it. A few things, but pretty much the way it's sitting right now is the way that I envisioned it and the way that I wanted it, so it won't change much in terms of aesthetics. But we just did the exhaust and it sounds awesome, so I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Should I sell the truck for a WRX, or a new WRX I should say, or keep the truck, or get something else? Let me know. All right, so we got the car dried off. We're all set, so now I'm just going to apply some drying aid. I've been trying out the Obsessed Garage drying aid. I've been using Beadmaker for years now, but I decided to give this a try. It's okay so far. I still think I like Beadmaker better. I do notice that this does dust less than Beadmaker. Beadmaker dusts like crazy, but this still does a good job. But I don't know. I still got to do more testing and try it out a little bit longer. But so far, I like it. But I think I may be sticking to Beadmaker. I'll let you guys know once I get more time with it. But yeah, it definitely does have a nice slickness to it. It dries very well in terms of a drying aid. So obviously you don't want the car soaking wet, but if you have a little residue water on there after the wash, and then you spray this on there, it definitely aids in the actual drying process. So you don't have to soak your towels like crazy. It just kind of absorbs into the paint, and it does a really nice job. I tried it once before, so it was already on the paint, already on the car. So I definitely noticed it seemed a little slicker. Overall, the GSF had a hard time sticking to the paint, and it came off a little bit more smoothly than Beadmaker. But once I get a little bit more seat time, if you will, with it, I'll let you guys know what I think. All right, guys, so that concludes the wash and talk. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Car is looking fantastic. I must say that the Obsessed Garage drying aid is pretty good. Just kind of applying it and everything, the car looks really, really nice. Obviously, the durability and everything, and what I think, after I wash it again and just how it's holding up, I'll let you guys know. But so far, pretty happy with it. I think it looks great. The car, every single time, just ceramic coated. It has G-Technic CSL and XOV4 on it. Fantastic, absolutely love it. And it cleans up perfectly every single time. And even after 7 hours of hard driving, the paint still looks in fantastic condition. If you have any questions at all about the car or anything that I used in this video, most of the stuff that I did use is in the links below in the description. But if you have any other questions, ask them below. I'll be happy to answer. But in the meantime, keep it clean, keep it simple, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.